Welcome to the Macho Show. I just spilled a bunch of beer. So macho.
I licked up a bunch of beer.
I wish I would make it. That would be probably cleaner.
Bunch of beer.
Yeah. If my fucking camera's wiggling all over the place, it's because it's being cleaned. Oh, hello, Mark, in the chat. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for being patient with us.
Yeah, appreciate it. I hope you are all having a lovely Thursday. I can't believe it's already Thursday again. It feels like we literally just did this to me, but that's just because my life goes so fucking fast all the time.
My life goes slow. It feels like a month ago to me.
I know. So like, you should totally help me out sometimes. But no, you say you're busy a lot too. So I can't. Well, I don't know. Busy with different stuff, I guess. But yeah, I never seem to have enough time to do anything. Hey yo, baby girl, want some fuck? Maybe. I'd rather have some food right now, honestly. Oh my god.
So we have an exciting show today. Not really. We just want to say that so it seems like we do.
Okay.
But yeah, we're like really busy working on the calendar, trying to get it out. So it's like we don't have much time to prepare for stuff, so we're just kind of winging it. But I wanted to talk today about Lauren Chen. And I mean, she's on what?
Oh, why her specifically?
Well, I've been watching her a little bit lately, and she's on Blaze TV, and Blaze TV pretty much is a right rag media show. I mean, they do have Dave Rubin on there, and he's kind of more on the left, but talking about her specifically is about the her newest video that came out a few days ago called Trash, Women Hitting Men, Male Domestic Abuse. And I think that this is a cause for celebration because the issues we talk about is starting to get mainstream. I mean, it's like the one thing that the left and right could agree on is that men's issues were non-issues. And now we're starting to see where things like male domestic abuse is starting to become more mainstream. That the work that we've been doing all of these years is starting to pay off. Now, it's a long way to go before we really infect any change, but this is the kind of a key step towards that change. We need to get people talking about this. We spread the word on the street, and then people on the street talk about it, and it goes up to the media, and the media to Congress, and Congress could actually do something. So this is why I'm very excited by this, because, I mean, Blaze TV is a little bit off the beaten path. It's trying to capture...
You're saying that Blaze TV is mainstream?
I was about to say that it's a little bit off the beaten path, but it's closer to mainstream than the rest of us. It's what mainstream media should be, but it is certainly good journalism. I'll put it that way. But they're still kind of big for their britches. I know that's all just confusing, but there are more popular broadcasts out there, like Steven Crowder and Dave Rubin, and God, that one person, I can't think of his name, I just lost it. And Joe Rogan. I mean, these are big media people. Even though they're not part of the official mainstream, they're a part of our mainstream, but they're kind of on the top echelon. And they're now talking about these things. And I think that this is very important. Because even like Joe Rogan, he refuses to acknowledge that the men's movement has any right to exist. Steven Crowder has certainly shied away from it. And despite their reluctance to say anything about the men's movement, they're starting to talk about the issues that we've always been raising.
But Lauren, am I missing who Lauren Chen is? You're talking about roaming millennial, right?
I don't think she's roaming millennial.
Who the fuck is Lauren Chen?
She's like a Chinese girl. She grew up in Hong Kong and is now a media personality. I mean, maybe someone in chat can tell us if she is roaming millennial. Okay, she is roaming millennial.
Yeah. She's always talked about men's issues. I guess that's why I'm really confused right now, because she's literally always talked about men's rights and stuff.
Okay. I'm not really familiar with roaming millennials, so I guess then I'm the fool in this situation.
No, it's all good. I was like, because she was like one of the very first people that I discovered talking about that stuff, or it's just saying that she wasn't a feminist, pretty much, and I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that you were excited about that. But when I told you about Tosh.0 having the leader of the Bloodstained Men on his show, you didn't seem really that phased.
No, I was very happy by that.
The entire episode is called Brother K, like the name of the guy who created Bloodstained Men, which for those who don't know, that is a organization to raise awareness against or raise awareness about male genital mutilation, and obviously they're against it. So I still haven't been able to watch the fucking episode because no one let me come to their house and watch it. So I have to wait until it's available.
I mean, come on, look at those boobies. I mean, she's not going to show you all of her boobies, but I mean, you can at least...
Right? Like, come on, just let me watch fucking Tosh.0 at your house. Netflix and chill.
And she'll draw you a picture.
Yeah, there you go.
The win-win. Well, the thing with Tosh.0, I'm actually very excited by that, but I was kind of the opinion, and you couldn't see me on chat. I mean, I was like, oh my God, that's a big deal. I was really surprised, and I didn't know that Tosh had said in the past about these things. I started looking it up.
Yeah.
I even contacted Brother K directly to ask him to come on our show, which he said he might do in a couple of months. We'll have to kind of wait and see on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, I kind of also had the opinion of, I want to wait and see what it is. And my reaction to Roaming Millennial is, I've seen it, I've seen what she's done, and I can react more appropriately to it. And I guess now that I know that she's always been like this, at least I can take the opinion of, we've interjected men's issues into Blaze TV, which I still think is a very important step. Maybe not as big as I thought 10 minutes ago, but...
No, Blaze TV is like an internet thing. And then Tosh.0 is like a...
Comedy Central.
Yeah, right. So that just... like, the fact that it is... Like, when I think of Blaze Media, I think of, like... Fucking... what's another name? God damn it. I just had one. Like the Rebel Media, like them and stuff like that. Or I don't know, just like random CRTV, stuff like that. But yeah. Sorry, my mom is distracting me right now with questions. Oh.
Yeah, and Roger McElfish, which is an awesome name, by the way, makes it very clear. Tosh.0 is a cable network where Blaze TV is streaming network. And yeah,
Right.
that's a fair assessment. And I do agree that Blaze TV cannot compare to network TV. And Glenn Beck was the other person I was thinking of. And yes, he does own Blaze TV. But I think people could agree, though, that Blaze TV, even though it is not mainstream on TV media, it's still a bigger deal than, say, many of us who are independents doing YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And not to diminish what we do, but only to elevate what they do. Because I love watching, I used to watch White House Press. I don't know why that guy is not on there anymore. I forget his name. I think it was like John or something. And I loved watching him. And I disagreed with a lot of what he said. But it was like, it was nice to see someone doing a professional journalism where it wasn't just Orange Man is bad. I mean, yes, he was kind of doing Orange Man is good, but still, he was cutting through a lot of BS, which I enjoyed.
Yeah. And I didn't mean to, like, undermine, like, what you were saying at all. I just, because, like, it is a good thing that people talk about it, period. Like, anybody talks about it because, like, I don't know, even, like, male suicide, like, I heard, recently, lots of fucking male teens committing suicide too, on the rise. And it's like all of the stuff that men deal with that people don't really talk about. Well, all this girl power, girl boss, girl fart thing is going on, and it's like, you know, any kind of anyone talking about it is a big fucking surprise, honestly. So I hope one day I get to make a difference somehow.
I think we are, in all honesty. I think it's a minor thing, and I certainly agree with you. I hope that we can one day make more of a direct impact on the world. But I think that, you were talking about Tosh.0, Lauren Chen. We're starting to talk about these people, starting to talk about these issues and force them into the mainstream light. It's going to open up more opportunities for us to come forward and really get this message out there. I mean, that was the whole purpose of doing the calendars. And in the future, we're open to doing calendars again if we have more control over the product. But we're not, just because we're going to stop doing the calendars doesn't mean we're going to stop trying. We actually have a couple of projects that we want to do in the next year or so to try to find some way to get the message out there.
Yeah.
And I think it is important that we get the message out there, because I'm looking at some of these comments on this video, and it kind of makes me think that there are some people out there who don't really understand why this is a problem. I think they do and they don't at the same time. Most people understand it's a problem, but I'm just going to...
Can you specify what you're talking about? Because I thought you meant the video we're on right now.
No. On Warren Chen's video. And I'm going to point out a few comments. Like one person, and this is all on the channel, so I'm not trying to dox anyone. I mean, this is public information, so I'm just going to read their names. Ali Sarzor, he's like, I had a girl in school punch me in the head. Instinctively, I punch back. I don't care who it is, I get punched, I punch back. Well, that's a great sentiment, except that there are consequences for men hurting women, even if it's in self-defense. And yet there are no consequences, and that was the point of Lauren's video, is there's no consequences to women hurting men. If anything, she will be celebrated for hurting a man.
Yeah.
Let me pull up another Father Leo says, if a woman ever hits me, I'll give her a dose of true equality. Well, I hope you appreciate that dose of true equality when you're sitting in a jail cell because the police arrest you even though she started it.
I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure unless you live under a rock, it's usually assumed that if you hit a woman, you're gonna get in trouble. Unless you live in like a really small town, like I don't know. It sounds to me like empty threats, but
Well, here's another one. I applaud men who fight back. I don't give a fuck what gender you are. You hit, you get hit back. And to a degree, I agree with you. I think most people know that if you hit a woman, bad things will happen to you. And maybe that this is just, hey, I'm going to act tough on the internet. But there is still this social stigma that if you get beat up by a girl as a man, that you are somehow less of a man. And that there's no way to regain your dignity or your masculinity because you got beat up by a girl. But what's your options? You can let her beat you up. You can run away, but that results in the same thing. Or you could hit her back, and now you're a monster. In fact, there was a video specifically in Lauren's video where there's this boy in school, and this woman is yelling at him and hitting, not woman, a girl, hitting him in the face, and he keeps backing up. And she's even saying, hit me, hit me, hit me. And he's just trying to get away from her, and she is stalking him. Finally, he's had enough, and he punches her in the face. I think that's an appropriate response. But then there was a girl right next to him who started wailing on him for touching a girl. Where was she before when the girl was hitting the boy? I mean, she was right there the whole time, but you know, she just went at him and started hitting him. Then a bunch of guys ran over right at him, ready to pounce on him. And there's the consequence right there. A girl punching a boy, no problem whatsoever. He's a little wimp for taking that. But the moment he stands up for himself, he's a monster for hitting a girl. And that's the reality of it. And I agree. It's like if you're defending yourself, I don't support violence against women. I don't support violence against men. But if you're being attacked, you have a right to defend yourself. Except in this country, gender matters important. And I'm going to read you a quote that I'm doing for the calendar.
True.
Which I think really shows why this is such a big problem. Okay, in a 2004 study, males receive a longer sentence on average of 10 years when the victim of their crime was female versus when the victim was male. So if a man does something illegal to a woman, he will get 10 years more jail sentence than if he had done it to a male.
For that. Oh,
another study.
I got the person's name wrong. I meant DeVio, whatever your name is. Hi. Sorry.
Another study looked at vehicular homicide and found that drivers who killed women received 56% longer sentences than drivers who killed men. So if you use your car and you want to run someone over, you'll get a shorter sentence if you run over a man. If you run over a woman, they'll throw the book at you. So this is why all of this is a concern, because, you know, if you do anything wrong against a woman, you're a bad person. If you do anything wrong against a male, who gives a shit? And there's the empathy gap that we're always talking about.
Uh, sorry, my mom just said that my sister might go to college in North Carolina, and I was like, why? Oh. Is it okay for a guy to hit a trans woman? It's okay for anyone to hit anyone in self-defense, but don't hit people.
I
North
wanted
Carolina
to.
is okay.
What?
So sorry, someone said North Carolina is nice though, but like she's trying to go to Charlotte. Charlotte sucks. No offense. Oh.
All colleges suck, but some more than others.
Man, this guy was trying to. Okay, if you don't have a Twitter, add me on something else. I don't know what to tell you. We can't just talk through YouTube chat about business. I got all. Look at all of my social medias down there.
But I wanted to relay a story about something that happened in my youth that I think really represents what women have become now. When I was growing up, around the neighborhood, there was just a group of us, but there was always like this little 9-year-old kid who hung around us because one of the other people who hung out with us was his older brother. And, he, for whatever reason, I've never understood why, always wanted to pick a fight with me. So he'd start punching me. Well, it's a 9-year-old kid. He's 9, and I'm like, I don't know, 12, 13, 14. And it's not like I was going out there and punching his face, but I was trying to push him away in as little force as possible. But because I put my hands on him, his older brother would come up to me and start hitting me. So now I have two brothers hitting me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, you touched my little brother. I'm like, well, yeah, but he was hitting me. It's like, it doesn't matter. If you touch my little brother, I have to defend him. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do in this situation? It's like, well, then you go and tell my mother that he's being a bother. So the next time he did it, I went to his mother. I'm like, look, he's just, hitting me nonstop. And her response was, if you can't learn to play together, you shouldn't be playing at all. And it's like, this kid was very lucky because he could do whatever he wanted and he'd have the protection of his brother, and his mother didn't give a shit. And what was the lesson he learned? He can do whatever he wants when there's protection around. I mean, if he really wanted to protect his brother, then his brother should have protected him from himself. It's like, look, dude, if you start a fight, you're going to get your ass kicked. Now, I'm not going to do anything about it. But if someone comes up and starts fighting you, I'll jump in. And I guarantee you, had he been told that, he wouldn't have ever started shit. Now, I talk about this, about how it relates to women today, because women today know one simple truth. They can hit a man without any consequence to themselves. If a woman comes up to me and punches me in the face, let's go more than that. She throws me through a plate glass window. She starts wailing on me, starts hitting me. No one will do anything. But the moment I even push her off of me, I'm a horrible monster. Everyone wants to come up to me and start beating me up. And what's the lesson she's learned in that? She can do whatever she wants. No one's ever going to stop her. Now, maybe that's an extreme example, but we see plenty of videos online, some that are set up, others that are not, where women are beating up on men. No one cares. If anything, people want to stop and laugh at them. You want to make any comment?
I mean, you're right. I was just thinking about this video that I saw of, I don't know, it like people don't care about men getting hit or abused or yelled at or put down at all. And it's funny to put men down. It's funny to hit men. It's funny to sexually assault men. But yeah, this video I saw yesterday, this guy was watching, I just overheard it, of this bald, ugly woman. And it said, when you find out that your boyfriend liked another girl's picture. And so she comes into the mall or the Target or where the fuck they are with a man on a leash and talking to her friend like, oh yeah, I gotta keep it on a short leash now because I blah 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 blah, and like yanks him by the neck. Haha, so funny. And then she's like pulling him around, literally treating him like a dog, like hold up, no, down, sit, and like it just made me so like grossed out. I was like, who finds this funny? Who looks at this and is like, wow, that's so relatable. Yeah, I would literally abuse the fuck out of my boyfriend just for liking a girl's picture. That makes a whole lot of sense. Like, are you really that insecure that you just don't care about anything but yourself? Like, hurting people is fine. As long as it's a dude, it's okay. Like, and then another example is this stupid animated movie, which I don't even know when it came out. Actually, I'm gonna Google it. It's called The Queen's Corgi or some shit. Yeah, The Queen's Corgi. It came out 2019. So I'm not that it's not that it is still sort of relevant. So yeah, The Queen's Corgi is about Queen Elizabeth and all her corgis, and then Donald Trump comes and visits and brings his corgi, and his corgi is a sexual deviant. Like, I'm not really sure what like they were going for. Like, she has like a pink dyed tail and lipstick on a corgi, and she literally tries to rape all of the corgis there, and it's a joke. It's like, oh, ha ha, he's getting dragged away by this woman and she's gonna have sex with him, and that's so funny because no one wants to have sex with her. Wow, sexual assault is so funny when it's a man. Where can you imagine if a girl arrived in a house full of dudes or whatever, and the dude started dragging the woman away, being like, you can't do anything, I'm gonna have sex with you whether you like it or not, and she's like, no, please, and that's a joke.
I think I've seen that porno.
But yeah, so I don't know, like, it's just so prominent in our society that it's like, how are we even gonna like change anything? I don't know.
Well, I'm reminded of the movie 40 Days and 40 Nights. And it's about a guy who wants to give up sex for Lent. And I'm like, 40 days without sex? I've gone years without sex. Shut up. Anyways, there was some controversy surrounding the film, and that they did something rather drastic because of it. Now, before I tell you what they did that they changed, which seems inconsequential, but it's just so funny that this is what they did, there is a scene in there right at the end, spoiler alert, came out in 99, so if you haven't seen it, it's your own damn fault. But anyways, it's like the last day, and he's just so eager to have sex or even to jack off that he straps himself to his bed. He handcuffs himself, so he can't do anything for the last day. Well, his ex-girlfriend comes in and proceeds to have sex with him so she can win the poll that they all had of how long he could last without having sex. She rapes him But that's not the controversial scene in the film. The controversial scene in the film is when he's eating breakfast and he's looking at Mrs. Buttersworth and rubbing her tits. And the company decided to remove the breasts off of Mrs. Buttersworth. If you ever remember back in the day, she had tits and now she doesn't, it was because of that movie.
I'm sorry.
Which I'm surprised feminists didn't argue about. Oh no, you're cutting the tits off of Mrs. Butterworth. This is proof of the patriarchy. But I think it was before the outrage. That was way before outrage culture. Like, we just got done with the PC movement and right before it picked up again.
I'm done. I don't understand. Oh, jeez. My ears. I wish I had better beer. Donate if you want me to have better beer. Actually, this one was free. Someone left it here. So I'm not going to buy beer with the money that you give me. But it will go towards me being happy. And then maybe one day getting some beer. Oh, my fucking ears hurt. I'm sorry.
But anyways, back to our conversation at hand. I mean, all of this that we're doing really comes down to male empathy, or the lack thereof. That if we truly had empathy for males in our society, there would be a lot of reforms overnight. But the problem is that there are even feminists who do have male empathy. I've met quite a few. It's just they're too afraid to talk against the mainstream of feminism. That's why you never really hear from them. And it's like, well, the mainstream of feminism says this is the problem, so that's what we focus on. But yeah, I care about men. It's like if mainstream feminism suddenly overnight cared about men's issues, then almost every feminist would come forward. It's like, yeah, I've always been like this. This is how I always felt. And it's like, why didn't you ever say anything before? But the problem is that feminism will never do it. And you can even go back to Warren Farrell when he was a part of the National Organization of Women. And the reason why he left, because they wanted to destroy the family. And he said that it was bullshit. He talked to the other board members of it, and they agreed it was bullshit, but they didn't want to say anything about it because they'd lose their money. And that's what it comes down to. Feminism will never support men's issues until it becomes more mainstream, because then they'll lose their money. They'll lose whatever influence they have. So women are sacrificing men's empathy for money. And that's what it really comes down to. Because if you really look at it, feminism has gotten everything it's wanted. And then some.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. And they don't know when to stop, so they just keep going. Well, and now air conditioning is sexist.
I mean, if feminism actually went out and said, hey, we have everything we wanted, then the question becomes, well, why do we need you then? If women have everything they ever wanted, why do we need the National Organization of Women? Well, I'm going to stop giving my money to you and start giving it to a worthwhile cause. Well, they don't want that, so they have to say, hey, nothing is solved. Everything is far worse now than it's ever been. And they do say that.
Yeah.
Brad Young states, it's not just women that have no empathy for men. It's other men too, because they have to go through the same shit. I think it's a little bit different for men. And most of us men, we have empathy for each other. But I think there is a certain subset of us that are just trying to get laid, so we'll say whatever women want us to say in order to get the booty.
Yeah.
And this is something that Paul Elam talks in his book, Men, Women, Relationships, talking about the toxic masculinity culture. I mean, it's men who will throw other men under the bus. It's the men that sees a man hitting a woman and will go up and beat up the man. Doesn't matter that she started it. You just don't hit women. That's the toxic masculinity. Or saying, it doesn't matter what's wrong with you because you're a man. And so there's a lack of empathy from men to men because women don't approve of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different societal norms, like, pressured on people that are harmful, but people don't realize that while trying to do the right thing, sometimes you need to take a step back and think about what you're doing, because it might not always be the logical thing, or you might think that it's the right thing at the time, and then it turns out that you were very wrong because you were either misled or, whatever. But thank you, American Phoenix, for saying I look good. I appreciate it.
Well, I've seen it time and time again, and yeah, mostly it's because people are not thinking. But it comes down to, we're taught that women need our protection at all costs. Whether we're men and women. I've seen men and women fall over backwards trying to protect a woman. But if there's a man who's in trouble, they're like, well, we're not interested. They'll just be like, oh, well, you're a man, you take care of it yourself. But if a woman, I've seen women ask for the dumbest things possible and get it.
Yeah.
Like a woman had a GoFundMe or something along those lines, or emergency fund for a boob job. And it's like, you could put your money towards someone who actually needs help, and you don't.
Maybe I want a boob job. No, I'll say I want a boob job, and then when I get funded, I'll use it for something more charitable.
Get a beer job.
A what?
Beer job.
Beard?
Beer, as in the drink that you spilled.
Uh-huh.
Instead of a boob job, a beer job.
I don't want to fill my tits with beer.
Why
That
not?
sounds painful.
With all the boys.
Nah. I don't need no boys. I need well, actually, no, the boys I want aren't old enough to drink. That would be influencing a minor, and that would be illegal.
Yes, let's put it out there. It'd be illegal to influence a minor. Or to give them boobs out of a tit.
Boobs out of a tit.
Not beer-flavored tits. I mean tits that have beer in them that pour out.
Hello, Paul.
That's a beer job.
You don't need a boob job. They are amazing natural. I mean, they're okay. I wish they were a little bigger, but I wouldn't actually get a boob job, like an invasive boob job. I don't want any slicing of my nipples.
And plus the fact that she's never going to have children, her boobs will always remain plump.
Yeah, not out of this body, I'm not. If I find good ways to enhance my boobers without putting things inside of me, that would be awesome.
Well, I've heard like a cum bukkake will help. Just have a bunch of guys come on your tits.
I don't think that makes them grow. I heard massaging them stimulates growth, but I'm not sure if that's true. Oh,
Okay, guys, let's get together and massage her boobies. Who's with me?
yeah. um, I'll just randomly show you guys this thing that I made recently.
Gray Pride. That's awesome.
Thanks. And I made the thing look like a little UFO. So yeah, if you want a little custom embroider thingy, let me know. I do all the art stuffs. Yeah, put that right there. This is art too that you can buy if you want it. It's pretty cool. Beer can make a woman's boobs grow. Something to do with the hops. I love hops. This kind of beer. Ew. I don't think I can drink anymore. It tastes so bad. Pregnancy makes them grow. I'm not getting pregnant. I refuse.
Pregnancy makes them grow and
sag. Yeah. And then the kids chew on your nipples and they're like 5 miles long.
And then the men chewing your nipples, and it's like, you've got it, teeth, stop it. Unless you're into that.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
I don't like too much teeth. I only like a little bit.
Do a fair bit of scraping. Advice to all you men out there. The most ignored part of a woman's body is the under boobage. Lift the tits up and start licking.
Oh my God, ew. Ew.
After she bathes, of course. Come on.
Gross. No, you have to do it before so you can get all that salty goodness.
I thought the salty goodness came out of the penis.
Oh my God. My mom told me about this story once where I guess she saw it on like the Untold Stories of the ER or some kind of show like that. And she said that she saw this woman go in to get a mastectomy, not a mastectomy, to get just a mammogram. That's what it is. And she said it took 4 people or something like that just to lift up her tit. Or 2 people or something. It took a lot of people to lift up just one of her tits into the mammogram machine. And they found something like, because she thought that something was wrong. But I think it turned out that the only thing that was wrong was that there was a rotting tuna sandwich under her boob flap, which they discovered shortly after. And I think she said it was like a tuna sandwich. I don't know. But yeah, that was one of the grossest things I've ever heard.
Well, I know Howard Stern's had like women come on who can use their boobie to crush a can. Like they'll just lift it up and boom. It's like, okay, if you want to cause damage to your boobie, have fun with that.
Yeah.
And of course, American Phoenix is talking about women who offer breastfeeding services as a form of sexual gratification. And the woman is charging $300 an hour to let people suck milk from her nipples. And I'm like, I've tried sucking milk out of a girl's nipple. And as enjoyable as it is, you don't get that much at once. I mean, you have to really, really suck for a good long time to get anything substantial. Maybe an hour is enough time, but afterwards, your jaw is like very sore. So it's like, that must be the most expensive milk there is. You're basically paying $300 for like maybe a tablespoon. Maybe it's like 1/4 of a cup. Unless she's really flowing, and then maybe you get half a cup for $300. I mean, I might as well go to like Sprouts or those high class markets and just buy soy milk. Be just as expensive.
True that.
Medusa, that could be a new Patreon reward for, say, $1,000 per month.
Yeah.
But the only problem, she has to get pregnant first, so no.
Nobody wants my Patreon rewards. I'm trying to figure out what to do for rewards, and it's confusing. Don't donate to my Patreon. If you want to donate to me, donate to my PayPal and make it monthly. Because like Patreon is like, I don't know. Like I had, I told you I have a perk where you can get a signed lovely lady's calendar. But then when I offered it to someone, they were like, "Oh, can I just get a digital one?" And I was like, that defeats the entire purpose of everything that I listed it for. So, I don't know. I'm like, seriously, if you have suggestions, let me know and I'll put them on there. But like, I will do anything for donations. I've said this multiple times.
Except getting pregnant.
I just sold a pair of panties for $100. If you want my panties, that's how much they cost.
Did you come in them first?
What?
Did you come in them first?
Maybe. You'll find out. My guess is that they were still wet when they got there, because I said quality stuff. Oh.
I bet they smelled like cherries.
Yeah, no, I hate cherries. They probably smelled like coconut. Oh. But yeah, if you want them, I have them. I'll give you the ones I'm wearing right now. No. I don't want to accidentally flash my pussy.
Yeah. Don't fall for it, guys. She's not wearing any panties.
Oh, someone named Keith Powers sent me $10. Thank you so much. They would like a photo set. I would love to send you a photo set. So yeah, I have photo sets for $10. Just for $5. Sexy videos for $15. So check it out. Which I just took a video of me just shaking my titties around for that purpose. So if you want a slow-mo video of me shaking my titties, $15 on my PayPal. Oh. So yeah, I know we haven't really we kind of got off topic, but
kind of.
I'm sorry. I don't have much to talk about, and I'm super hungry. $250 per month. You can kill a pig with a knife and barbecue it dressed in a Hawaiian grass skirt. Sure, why the fuck not? I have a fucking grill now.
What do you want me to do? Put on a dress and do the hula?
Sure, why not? How about a video with you? What does that mean?
Let's talk about world domination. Not worth it.
World domination.
I mean,
I don't think anyone's going to dominate the world.
It sounds like it would be a lot of fun to dominate the world, but then you just have to deal with everyone's problems. Or if you don't want to deal with people's problems, you become a dictator and start killing people, but then they rise up against you.
Yeah, exactly. It never works. My dick hurts. I'm sorry. Would it hurt worse if I oh my god.
If she blew on it?
Fetish. Medusa, fuck me. How dare you? This is a Christian channel.
What the hell are you reading this? Because this is not in the chat.
It is in the chat.
I guess it just hasn't updated for me then.
Oh, if you're on StreamYard, then sometimes you have to scroll down for some reason. Hello, Quoth the Raven.
Well, if I was a world leader, and I would create a $1 million bill with Medusa's butt on it.
That sounds nice. Don't fuck me. I'm not that type of man. What?
I was thinking earlier when you were talking about how that bald chick is angry because her man liked another woman's picture. It's like, 30 years ago, when a woman got jealous of a man for liking another woman, she did the healthy thing. She would be extra sexy to try to win back his affection. And by that, I mean give him anal or let him do anal to her. But nowadays, girls are too good to do anal, so now they have to be horrible cunts.
Man, I wish I had that problem. I wish I had the problem of my man begging me to do anal. I wish that was the least of my problems. You should feel lucky that your guy wants to do anal. Fuck you.
Well, no, but my point is it's like it used to be that when women felt threatened, they did more to try to win over their man. But now we're seeing a culture that when you're angry at your man, you can abuse him, and you're going to be cheered on for that fact.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do some pretty fucked up shit, and there's always going to be people out there that are going to support you because you're a woman and nothing you do is inherently evil.
It's so hard for me to understand how these women get away with these things. Any woman gets away with anything that a man wouldn't, because I guess it's just because I simply cannot. I don't have the mindset of wanting to manipulate people into doing what I want. That's never been, like, that's just not the kind of person I am. So to see people who just take advantage of others no matter what, and usually the people who take advantage of men are also taking advantage of their friends, whether they know it or not, which is, obviously subjective, but it's like so many women are so nonchalant about hating men and not caring about, who they hurt to get what they want. And like, guys, some men do the same thing, but it's different. Like, I don't know. Like, men who are like that are either very feminine, from what I've noticed. Like, there are the feminine men who are manipulative and cry and whine to get what they want, which doesn't work as well as women, obviously. But then there's the men who are confident enough to get what they want. But I feel like they just aren't as malicious with it most of the time. Like, in a general sense, I feel like women in general are just trying to take advantage more often, in my opinion.
Because it comes so much easier for women. I mean, I've always said, like, at the bottom of the social rung of society is the ugliest, filthiest chick you can imagine. And below her is the average guy. That as long as you're a woman, you have something to use. You have your tits, you've got your ass, you've got your vagina. You can be one of the guys. There are so many avenues that make it easy for women to manipulate men. But men, as a whole, really don't have that. The only way you can do that is if you become rich, if you have a powerful position, or you look really, really muscular. If you have none of those things, then actually manipulating women is a very difficult task to do. Now, some people can do it. Ted Bundy was very good at it. He seemed to really be able to charm women, but when you look at him, okay, maybe he was a little good looking in his time, but he didn't really have anything else. He didn't have power, he didn't have money, he didn't have a great physique.
Mm-hmm.
Some men can do it. But I think the difference there is that when men do it, it's more because they're sociopaths.
Yeah.
But when women do it, they're more psychopaths. That in a way, they almost don't realize it's wrong what they're doing.
Exactly.
Even though they go through a lot of things. But, you know, I'm reminded of a video I saw, I don't know, about a year ago, about a woman who considered herself bisexual, and she was very, very proud of this. And she decided, as an experiment, to only date women. I mean, she'd have sex with women, but I don't think she ever really went on dates with women. She would just mostly date guys. But she was dating women, and she was like, you know, all these things about what men have told me over the years happened to me. Like one woman, she went out to dinner with, and the woman expected her to pay for the meal. And so she did because, hey, it's like, you know, we're probably going to get a second date and she'll pay for the next one. Never heard from her again. Mm-hmm. This woman went out with another woman to get a free meal. And she's like, you know, guys used to tell me this all the time. I'm like, well, you know, just because you pay for the meal, she's not required to give you anything for it. And she had no sympathy for men whatsoever until it happened to her. And then she's like, oh my God, wow. I can't believe that this is what men experience. Like she was incapable of mindfulness. And there was a couple more examples. But I remember that there was this one show, and I've never been able to find a video of this. I saw it once on YouTube, and then it disappeared. But it was some reality show. And I don't know what the point of it was, but these girls in this particular episode, they had to wear no makeup. They had to wear the ugliest clothing possible and go into a bar and try to get men to give them their phone numbers. Now, these girls were very attractive, and when they wore makeup and the right clothing, that was very easy for them to do. But then, when they were going in the worst possible condition to do this, they got rejected. And they were just like shocked by it. They were like so hurt by how they got rejected. And it's like, this is what men experience all the time. That we even try to talk to a woman. I mean, there's the video series, Girls Are Assholes. Very good. There's only like 6 or 7 episodes of it. I wish they'd do more. But it's like a nice guy tries to talk to a woman and she's like, talk to our friends like, no, thank you. I don't want to get raped tonight. And it's like, he did not give off that vibe. But then a guy who does give off the rapey vibe, she's like, oh my God, he's so hot. I want to go out with him. And it's like, that's exactly it. I know it's being played for a laugh. That's exactly it. Us guys, we try to be decent human beings and we're vilified. A woman, all she has to do is show a bit of her tits and she's a saint. I'll be right back.
Okey-dokey. All right. If the person who donated is watching right now, message me so I can talk to you on Twitter because I can't find you. So yeah, if you do donate, make sure if your name isn't the name that you donated with, make sure you put it in the note because then I need to know who to send a photo set to. So yeah. You back?
Yeah, I'm back. I got a package in the mail. What? Something I ordered that was at a severely reduced discount. So
late for a package.
I know it's like 6 p.m. here, but I'm not complaining. So I'm going to open it and show you what it is that I got. Something I've been wanting for a real long time, especially now that winter is coming.
I'm gonna break out my handy dandy samurai sword.
It's a big bag of weed. Yeah, I wish. Here we go.
Polka, polka.
Oh, it's a little snug, but oh well.
Hang on. Someone just told me that 2 men and a female is not a threesome. It's a gay experience with female supervision. That's funny. Oh, so that's a rope?
Well, it depends. Yes, it is a robe.
Cool.
It depends on what the interaction is, because I see a lot of like 3-way porn that I would agree is not 3-way porn. It's like 2 guys on a girl, like they're as far away from each other as possible.
Yeah.
But then when it's like a guy with his dick up another guy's ass and the woman is sucking or riding that guy's dick, that's really 3-way porn.
Yeah.
Not that I watch it. Yeah, I do. But not that I watch it.
Oh, yeah. I mostly watch incest porn. Or frat boys.
I do enjoy lesbian porn the most. And I don't like watching regular porn. I don't want to see penises, in all honesty. And I've had other guys criticize me for that. It's like, well, you just kind of pretend it's your own penis in that situation. It's like, but I don't want to see another guy's junk. I want to see, pussies and tits and all the ways that girls interact with each other.
Yeah, see, I don't like women, so that's the opposite for me. Well, like I like boobs and I like having sex with women, but I don't like women. Oh, I'm such a misogynist.
Oh, well, here's a good question for you. What is the most useless skin around a vagina?
The woman?
Yeah.
Yes. I did it. That's awesome.
Yes, the woman is the most useless skin around a vagina.
Hell yeah. All right. Also, thank you, Rusty Shackelford, for becoming a patron. It was last week, but still, I appreciate it. If you guys would like to have me do like shout outs and stuff as a tier, that's an option. Just saying. All right. So.
I've seen her sister. She's really not worth it.
Yeah, stop talking about my sister, please. Like. That's gross.
No, her mother, on the other hand. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. No. If I had a twin, then I'd be down, but
what if it was a clone of you? Would you sleep with her?
Yeah. Absolutely. If someone wanted to clone me, I'd be super happy.
I also hate point of view porn as well. It's like I don't need to be in the action to enjoy it. I just want to see something.
I don't need to be, but I think there are some porn where it can benefit the plot, such as like if a guy is acting, I don't know. I watch a lot of incest porn. So like a guy's acting shy and like their stepmom or whatever is like, come on over here. And you see them like looking around and shit. That's kind of interesting to me. And I've also seen some porn where it's like a fisheye lens, like props like right above their wiener. So like it makes it look huge. Like it makes everything look huge and like bulbous. And he was like ramming this girl's ass. That was an interesting way to use point of view. So it can work in certain situations, but it's definitely not like my favorite or anything.
Well, it's kind of strange for me, but I really need a storyline. I can't just watch two people go at it. I want to
Yeah.
be invested in what's going on in that situation. So when they get down and dirty, I'm more into it. I guess I just need that more personal connection to it. And I know some people are like that, but it's like one of my favorites was the Taboo series, where it was basically incest porn, but it was more like a soap opera with occasional sex between family.
That's funny.
If
I
you
really
haven't seen that, you should see it, Medusa. I think you'd love it.
Oh, you should send me a link. But I really like I like blackmail.
Mhm.
I like let's see. I like it I like it when someone gets stuck. I like it when people get tricked into stuff. So like anything basically anything that involves like them not wanting it to happen, that's my jam. Oh, that's like my favorite thing. I don't know why. Don't well,
And for discretion, obviously this is a production and they do want it, but we like when they pretend they don't want it.
obviously, like they're like, "Oh no." Like I can't handle when they're overacting and it's like, okay, obviously. but I also I just I don't like porn where the woman is overly enthusiastic about the dick. I don't like it. If I start watching porn and the woman is like, "Yeah, come over here. Oh, look at it." I'm just like, this is not impressive. Anyone could want this dick. You gotta earn it.
Well, a new thing that they've started doing, which really pisses me off, is like at the beginning of them, they're like, "This is just a production. This is not real in any way." It's like,
God,
no
who
shit,
cares?
dude.
Like,
Now you've kind of destroyed the immersion of it.
right?
You know, I know it's not real, but I want to pretend it is real for just a moment so I can get
Exactly.
off.
Like even just saying that is like distracting. Like shut the fuck up. I don't like intros to porn at all. Like especially when they're like, "Ugh, sexy family. Oh, ah." And there's like just not even porn, just like girls like doing like random shit and then it shows their logo and it's like, shut the fuck up and just play the fucking porn already. Oh. What would Freud say? I don't know. Maybe I'd bang him. Oh.
Well, you know what Freud and Clinton said is that sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Someone said that reminds me of the porn movie Pirates that functioned well enough as a movie that they cut out the porn parts. I want to see that.
Oh yeah, that's one of the most expensive porn movies ever made, and it was very high quality too. It cost like $1 million to make that film.
Was it a parody of anything or just
I
Pirates?
don't think it was a parody per se, but it was just like a pirate themed movie that had a lot of sex parts.
That's so weird. I hope one day I get paid a lot of money to do something. Oh.
I hope that I'm the director of that film.
Hey, I mean, who knows?
I like the more hardcore stuff, like a girl like being laid down on her bed with her head leaning back, and a guy just shoves his dick all the way into her throat,
Yeah.
and that's really hot for me. Or like girls taking abuse and like they're smiling even though they're getting hurt really badly.
See, I don't mind it when they enjoy it, but I prefer it when they don't or act like they don't. Like,
Right, right.
yeah, that's just my thing. One time I saw this really hardcore porn, and the funny thing is that it wasn't the abuse that turned me off. The thing that turned me off was that she was calling the guy daddy. And I know I'm a hypocrite because I have a mommy fetish, but I have never enjoyed the daddy thing. I've never called anyone daddy. I've never found it sexy. It's just strange to me. So It might be because my dad is in jail for fucking my sisters, but I don't know. Anyways, I saw this one video where it was a blonde chick who kind of looked like the girl from Sucker Punch, and it was her. I think she had already started crying before he even did anything, because he was like throwing her around, and she was like, and then when he started like fucking her, she was like legit like crying, and I was like, this is giving me the weirdest boner. I was like, it's weird that you're calling him daddy and that you're acting like a little girl, but for some reason the crying, I don't mind that.
Well, you know what they say, tears make the best lube.
See, this person said, I don't like to see women being slapped. I love being slapped. That's like, I like it more than being choked or spanked. That's
and
like,
of course, I have a flogger somewhere around here. I love hitting women consensually.
being hit with the hand, but yeah.
I mean, I'm masterful with the flogger. I can do a lot of things with it. I wish I had more of a collection of toys, but then I kind of need partners to really utilize them.
Yeah.
I enjoy that experience, and I also love it, when a woman gets slapped in the face or her tits and she's just wanting more. And yes, there is a certain part of me that likes it when she's pretending she doesn't like it, but
Yeah. I mean, like, see, yeah, that's like the difference between me and the porn I watch. Like, me, I'll love it and I'll act like I want more, but then the porn I watch, I don't want them to act like.
And this is why me and Medusa could never have sex, because I'd want her to call me daddy when I was fucking her.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I said, this is the reason why you and me will never have sex, because I want you to call me daddy when I'm fucking you.
No, that's a deal breaker.
I love it when girls call me daddy.
Are you serious?
I'll let you decide.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. We talked about a lot of stuff, but I don't feel like that was one of the kinks that you told me. So I'm gonna go ahead with you don't care.
I just love how your arm is shaking. It looks like you're stroking your penis.
Yeah, my it's because my legs shake.
I know.
There should be a game show where they show you bizarre porn and you have to make it to the end without getting a boner. That would be really.
Every man would lose. We get a boner just because. Hey, it's 10.
I already have a boner. What do? I can't get my boner to go away. Oh my God. Oh, I also love like accidental situations, like, oops, I accidentally fell on your cock. Or, oops, my panties accidentally slipped to the side and your dick slipped in me. Oops. Oh.
I love accidental incest. Like, I saw this one that was really great. These two girls are going at it one night, and then the next morning their mother's talking, and she finds out that they're actually sisters, and it was a child she had that she gave up for adoption.
Oh,
and then they both had sex together. So
that is hilarious. Daddy's overrated. Sir is just fine. I agree. Thank you for joining the chat. I always read that as the Sidua, but it's the social injustice warrior. Check out his channel if you haven't.
Oh, that's what it stands for. That's awesome.
Yeah. I recorded a video that he was going to be releasing sometime in the future, but I won't say anything about it.
Well, I love what Pokemon Fetish, good to see you again, says.
Yeah.
The last package I got was the Auto Blow 2 XT. The package you can put into your package. You can put your package in.
He said, where does one donate? I haven't donated in a long time. For me, you can donate to my PayPal, of course, Medusa's Gorgons, or Patreon, but I prefer you didn't do Patreon. If you want to help out Mad Cat, you can donate to his Patreon, or you can get his or PayPal, or you can get his book, which is like $2.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm on the cover, so it's extra sexy. Just wanted to stop by and show support. Good shit. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Venmo. I do have Venmo. Venmo is Modern Medusa as well. Appreciate it.
And I am, and this is unofficial, and I'm not going to give any details about it, but I am writing a new book for men's rights. And that's all I'm going to say about it. But it's probably going to take me about a year to write. I'm waiting for the calendars to be done, but I've kind of already started writing it. So
I would love to write.
Read your project.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say I would love to write a book and edit it with you about men's issues, because I've always wanted to write a book about something. I've wanted to write a lot of books, but that would be a start. Medusa, did you say incest porn? Yes, this is my favorite. What do you call a dude in the middle of a gay threesome?
I'm guessing a dildo. I don't know.
A
Lucky Pierre.
Wait, what? Why did that make me laugh? I'm confused. Oh, okay. Whatever you say, man.
Well, someone has to pee on the three guys, right?
True. So yeah, I guess I pretty much already just did our shilling for us, but was there anything else that you wanted to touch on before we wrap up?
Well, just a reminder that this is going to be the last year that we do calendars, unless we can figure out some other solution. And that we're not going to be, once we release the calendars, we're not going to be selling any calendars. So if you want a calendar and you're just waiting for us to release it, I wouldn't, because we're not going to have any extra. If we do, it's going to be a very finite supply. Like maybe one or two extras that we might send out to some other people, like, I don't know, some sort of celebrity or whatever. So if you want a calendar, get it now. Go over to Indiegogo and put in, it's going to be $15. We're waiting for some models right now to submit their photos to us. We've had some models drop out, and things happen. They really wanted to do it, but something came up and they couldn't do it, so we've had to find replacements. We're still hoping for early November release, but if that changes, hopefully it doesn't, but if that changes, we'll keep you updated. But once we release them and send them out, that's it, because it's a lot of hard work to really do a calendar. And while we're going to have some good money to donate to charity, it's just a lot of, let's just say, I'm amazed I still have hair. I'm just like it's not any person that's the problem. It's just like the logistics of getting it all together, and that's why no one's probably ever done it before. So
yeah, right. And like we've discussed before, like the conditions that would have to go on if we were to make another calendar, which if we had the option to take all of the pictures ourselves of the women to be in the calendar, that would be awesome. Maybe that will happen one day, but until that can happen, we're not going to be able to do a calendar specifically. So if obviously we're still going to do a bunch of other things, you had to wait 2 years for another calendar to come out anyways, so obviously don't stop supporting us because we're going to keep doing stuff whether or not we're doing a calendar. but you still need to buy one now because it's gonna go out with a.
That said, though, we have enjoyed doing it this year. We were a little surprised that we didn't get quite the turnout that we had hoped for, because we thought, well, the first year no one really knew what we were doing, and people have been betrayed, like by the likes of Anita Sarkeesian, who promised this big grand thing and didn't deliver. But we did deliver. We got it out to pretty much everyone. And we made the product, we got the product out. So it's like this year, people know what we're about, what we're doing, and that we're good on our word. And we're still good on our word, but it's like there wasn't as much excitement. And maybe it's because we were a one-hit wonder. Now, yes, we did meet our goal, but it was like when we did it the first time, we got $500 in a day. It took us about 2 weeks to get that much. I mean, we pretty much waited until the end of the month to get the $1,000 we were asking for. We were actually kind of not certain if we'd get it. And like overall, we ended up raising $3,000 in 2017. And now we've only done about half that. So it kind of tells us that maybe it was just a one-time thing, and there really is no place in the market for this kind of thing. So, lesson learned. We can move on and we can build upon that for anything we do in the future. But, we really want to do a lot more. But it's one of those things like we need the support from all of you to be able to do it. We want to go to Sydney for the 2020 men's conference. We want to hold our own conference or our own get-togethers. We want to do our own documentaries. We want to do so much, but it's like, I'm disabled and, Medusa's living paycheck to paycheck. There's only so much that we can do on our own. I mean, the drive is there, but it's like we appreciate all the support all of you give us, but, we've got to try to find a way to get out to more people. So.
Right. So yeah, stay tuned because we will have some cool stuff going on after the calendar for sure. But until then, you know where to find my stuff. Do you want to go over what you have to offer again?
Well, just check out the links down below. I've got my Patreon because I'm not popular enough to be hated on Patreon. I'm probably going to be starting a new thing with a new Patreon where I'm going to be expanding my Udemy operations and teaching locally and then posting videos on YouTube. So if any of you are interested in that, let me know. But I do have my Patreon down there. I appreciate Ohio Dan. He's been a big supporter of mine. And even though it seems like a small amount, that bit of money he gives me just really makes a difference for me. So, I mean, even if you can give $1, it means a lot to me. And not just emotionally, but also financially. Like it's $1 I don't have. So it really goes to the things that I need to take care of on my day-to-day life. And I actually just got my tooth pulled out. My mother had to borrow money against her retirement. So she's a little bit bitter about that, but at least I now got my tooth taken out. I thought it was going to take me like a year to get it taken out. It was in a lot of pain to the point I couldn't eat. So, but because of that, I haven't been able to donate plasma, which is like my only source of income right now. So I'm pretty much getting no new sources of income right now, except for the sales of my book, How to Destroy a Woman Now. Good way to segue into that. But if you don't want to do Patreon, I also got my PayPal, but buy my book, $2.99, not a lot of money. I do get a commission on that. More people who buy that, more money I get. But my goal with that is that we piss off feminists so much about a book on how to destroy women, they will pressure Amazon to take it off. That way, we can get Amazon, we can pressure Amazon into taking off the first book, How to Destroy a Band Now. Now, the difference between my book and that book is that book contains illegal information. It encourages you to do defamation, to go on websites and create fake news stories about someone saying that they raped someone. And that's a very serious thing because employers nowadays, they do a Google search on you. And if it comes up, hey, this person committed rape, doesn't matter if it's a lie, which is what defamation is. They can see that and it's like, well, I don't want to mess with this person. They committed rape. I don't want them working here. That can destroy someone, which the name is fitting. Now, my book doesn't contain anything illegal. I made sure that it did not cross that line. It contains immoral stuff, but not illegal. And the very end of the book says specifically, do not do anything in this book. In fact, look at this book as things not to do in your relationship if you want to be happy. So help me take down the first book, because I'm not like pro censorship, but that is illegal. And putting that on their site is promoting illegal activity. And that is where the First Amendment ends. You cannot tell someone, hey, go do something illegal. And Medusa's on the cover.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah. You know where my fucking links are. If you don't, because apparently Pokemon Fetish didn't know where to donate. PayPal.me/Medusa's Gorgons. Patreon.com/Modern Medusa. PayPal is the easiest for me. Helps me out a lot. Or Venmo, whatever. Also Modern Medusa. I'm sorry, I just read Pokemon Fetish's video.
I know. I want to read that out.
Comment. I used to loathe the daddy thing. Then I came across this one video and bam, that was a great orgasm. Maybe one day I'll find that video. See, I don't know what video made
your nose. That must be a really long clit. Are you sure it's not a penis?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what video made me like the mommy thing. I think it was the change that I had to make, because like I would only see porn of Shota, which if you don't know what that means, Google it. And so it was just weird to me. So I was like, wait, mother and son can be like consenting adults. That makes sense. Whoa! So I had to separate that, because like the other section of porn was so weird, and I was like, wait, this new section of porn is awesome, and they're not related at all. So yeah, we'll see. But anyways,
I want you to check out something called pterodactyl porn.
I've seen that.
Okay.
ET porn is the best. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Go watch porn. If you want any art, rewards, boobies, let me know.
Grab your dicks and double click. Porn, porn, porn.
Yeah.
Porn, porn.
Oh, that's a great song. All right. Thank you guys. Peace.
Oh man.